This is a closer look at the logistical challenges of the Afghan buildup. I'm Gail McCabe.
We want to provide everything that every soldier needs in Iraq and Afghanistan.
You are drawing out of one theater, pushing into another theater.
We have set goals for ourselves. They're very ambitious. We have met all of those goals so far, and our intent is to have all of the equipment out shortly after General Odierno says he doesn't need it in Iraq anymore. And at the same time to refurbish that equipment and push it into Afghanistan. If we take too much equipment too quickly out of Iraq, General Odierno may need it to keep the peace there. If we push things into Afghanistan too quickly, the infrastructure there can't support it. If we get it there too late, then we're not meeting the President's guidance to get the majority of these combat troops on the ground in the first part of 2010. The lines of communication into Afghanistan in this landlocked country are very tenuous, very thin. We've got two lines of communication through Pakistan on the ground, and the Pakistani military is helping us a great deal. But we don't operate forces in there. We've got to depend on them and our contractors to secure that equipment as it goes in. 1,200 miles one direction and 700 miles the other direction, and it's terrible roads with the potential enemy all around. We can fly things in, but each of the airports has a limitation in Afghanistan because they were built during the Russian era or before, and every spot of ground outside these bases that we have is potentially mined from all the decades of warfare.
What's your priority right now?
The priority is to ensure that we've got MRAPs and MATVs in Afghanistan in the numbers that the Secretary needs and that our soldiers need, so that when they get out on those dangerous roads, that they've got equipment that's going to protect them and allows them to dismount easily. And number two priority is to make sure that our soldiers have sufficient life support, but nothing that is going to make them feel too comfortable, because we can't afford to get hotels in there and bases like we had in Iraq.
If you had a wish list?
Our primary issue is time and security. We've got sufficient soldiers to do the job either on the ground or on the way in Iraq and Afghanistan. But they need more time to get equipment on the ground, and they need more time to get their jobs done. And our security that we're providing to the Afghans and the Iraqis is what's going to allow them to build their own countries back up to where they need to be.
Back to the volume now of what you've been moving out.
Since June, where we started putting the bulk of our effort into Iraq, we've moved out over 10,000 vehicles, nearly 1 million items of equipment, about 35,000 containers. We've got 6,000 trucks operating on the roads every day. 40% of the equipment that is in Afghanistan now has come out of Iraq, and we've refurbished that and sent that over.
And then you're also moving the personnel.
We're operating the gateway in Kuwait, where our soldiers come and go on leave. Of course, about 30,000 soldiers a month move through the gateway. It's about 10,000 a month that are moving in and out of Manas in Kyrgyzstan.
Iraq and Afghanistan are just two of the countries that you have oversight on.
Well, our area of operations for Third Army encompasses 20 countries. We routinely operate with about 50,000 people in 15 or so countries in the region every day, because we're not only sustaining the theater, but we're trying to shape the future through theater security cooperation in a number of countries.
General Webster, how do you sum it all up?
Our job is to support the warriors fighting the fight, and to be prepared to back them up and go into any other country on short notice if we should have to, so that they can continue to do their job. And we have to help shape the future for the good of our country.
That's a closer look.